Then the lights went out. My heart throbbed in my chest and I took off at a light sprint. Both my feet were in agonizing pain, and I couldn't force myself to go as fast as I would have liked. The lights flashed on for a moment, and I could see all the mannequins had moved, rising out of their chairs or crawling after me. Then the lights went off again. I could feel their cold, smooth hands on my ankles and arms. But then the sweat that coated my adrenaline-fueled body kept them from getting a decent grip. The lights continued to flash on and off, and I could see them coming closer and closer. I could also see the door leading to the stairs getting closer. Hope started to rise in my chest, and I reached out my hand to push it open. Then a set of hands grasped the back of my hospital gown. I lost my footing and fell forward. I caught myself with my battered hand and cried out in pain. I could feel fingers crawling all over my body like a million of spiders. I screamed and pulled myself off the tiled floor, my eyes glued to the door looming before me. The hands dug into me, trying to pull me back. I could feel myself slipping and see myself being dragged away from my salvation. Then the hands lost their grip on my feet. The blood coating my one foot was too slippery for them to get a grip. I could feel as the cast was being yanked off of the other. With this brief moment of freedom, I dug my feet into the floor and pushed as hard as I could. My body slid forward, the blood and sweat helping me slide away. I tumbled to my knees and burst through the door of the stairwell. I slammed it shut behind me and leaned against it, panting. The mannequins didn't chase, and I had a moment to regain my composure. I knew that if I waited too long, though, my body would give out from pure exhaustion. Forcing myself onto my feet, I stumbled down the stairs leading to the first door. The last floor. I pushed myself against the door and entered onto the last floor. The very end of the hall, I could see a set of double glass doors with brilliant sunlight shining through. I limped towards it, searching the area around me. Couldn't hear anything. No screaming, no typing, no movement. I was alone. I got closer to the doors, and a sense of unease settling in my stomach. The last floor was too easy. I put my hand up, about to push the door open, about to exit out into freedom, when a scream came from behind me. I looked back and I saw her. She was strapped to a hospital table, and the doctor and nurse from floor 8 and 7 stood above her. They smiled at me as the nurse handed the doctor a large bone saw. He wiggled it in the air at me and brought it down hard on her stomach. She screamed again. As blood poured from her mouth, I turned to go to her, to save her. They were killing her all over again, and I couldn't let her suffer again. The doctor brought the knife down over and over again, completely mutilating her stomach, but she still screamed. A small voice tugged at the back of my head, and I stopped. This wasn't her, not the real her. It's just another trick. Another attempt at getting me to fail. I closed my eyes, wincing at the sound of her screams, and pushed open the hospital doors. When I opened my eyes, I found myself in an almost empty parking lot. It was raining. The cool water felt gentle on my fragile body. Looking down, I could see that my feet were healed, but there was a scar from where the needle had been, and the other foot was swollen. I lifted up my hand and inspected the metal key I was holding. It was a soft sky blue with the words, "Step 8 complete," on it. I placed it in my pocket with the other 2 keys and started limping home. I was sore, battered, bloody. My spirit felt drained, and all I wanted to do was sleep forever. I knew I couldn't. I had to keep going for her.